blessed. Wake up thanking God, he showed me how to reinvest. All this stress, I was giving game to you peons from the gate. Use my own self as examples. I live raw and never hate.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of TNC Reacts. Today is Tuesday Thoughts, and I have been thinking about why was scamming such a big deal. Now, I want you to understand what I'm saying. If you don't remember, probably over the last couple of years, there was a massive push where they were promoting scamming, whether it was in music, whether it was on YouTube channels. Yes, YouTube channels where they were showing you how to actually scam. And for the life of me, I couldn't figure out how these people were able to stay relevant. I'm like, how weren't their pages shut down? How weren't they getting arrested quickly? Because they're putting their crimes right there in the forefront, right? And I started thinking maybe this is by design, right? A lot of times we try to act as if we don't understand what things are happening, right? And for the life of me, I was like, why are they pushing this the most? And it wasn't in other cultures, it was primarily pushed to younger black kids, right? And I'm like, why is that? Why is everybody all of a sudden wanting a scammer? I love me a scammer. I want a scammer. And I couldn't figure out why until I realized the crimes behind it. What are your charges for when you actually get caught scamming, aka fraud, right? Now, fraud can go anywhere from 0 to 20 years depending on what you're being charged with, right? And depends on the state you're in. But once you're done with those charges, they don't tell you what happens after that. Anytime that you're dealing with fraud, thieves, stealing, anything like that, it hurts your chances of getting a job that has anything to do with personal information, anything with money, and anything of sensitive information, right? So that nowadays eliminates you from like 80% of the jobs outside of like construction work or anything you got to do with your hands, or some form of a trade work. But other than that, everything else is digital. Everything has personal information involved with it. So it eliminates you by so many jobs and opportunities to be able to continue on with your life. And I think that's by design. I think that is meant to make you have a reoccurring position in prison. I mean, because when you think about it, they'll even tell you now, if you look at the stats, a lot of people aren't getting arrested or going to prison for certain crimes anymore. So what do? You have to find a way to put these people in prison. You have to find a way to get bodies in there. You have your natural groups that are just going to go, but in mass of what was happening back in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, 2010s, in those 15 from 2010 all the way to 2025, if I'm not mistaken, the crime rates have kind of dropped in certain communities because we all understand that this was set up for a long time for us to continue to fail, and now a new path has started to be taken, and they peeped it. So now they're like, well, what do we do? What do we do? Because even now, if you look, there are a lot of podcasts that are coming up talking about the streets are dead, all this gangster stuff, all this gang stuff, all this violent stuff is all played out. But yet somehow you can get bleeped for saying certain words, but you can have a whole scamming page dedicated to showing you how to get away with committing fraud, and those pages don't get taken down. So it makes you wonder why. But yeah, music, talking about scamming. You got people on pages talking about, if you ain't a scammer, I won't date you. And if you think I'm joking, you can just look it up. There's plenty of them up there. And you have to wonder why. And I think it's because they need bodies. They need bodies in these prisons, man. If they're not filling up these prisons, they're not making any free labor happen. So they need these things. And because we're not participating in it, they have to find other alternatives in order to get us in there. But I don't know. It's just a theory I came up with. But let me know what y'all think down in the comment section, and be on the lookout for more videos. All right, everybody? Peace.